Hits 96.
Hits 96, Chattanooga's #1 hit music station. Gino D here with you. And today I have the privilege of being able to connect with one of the Olympians from Team USA's skateboarding team, Minna Stess. Minna, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Yes, of course. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing is the big question. If I'm not mistaken, you guys actually leave tomorrow, and you're in California now. You guys leave tomorrow for Paris for the Summer
Yeah.
Olympics.
Yeah, tomorrow is the day. I can't believe it's actually tomorrow. I'm not ready to go. I need to finish packing, but yeah, I'm really excited.
I was going to ask, I mean, what's going through your mind right now? How do you feel? What's your vibe? I know you've done numerous competitions before and you've done all types of prestigious competitions, and we'll get into that a little bit. But right
Yeah.
now, what's the vibe for Minna?
The vibe right now, I don't know, just go and enjoy Paris. I've never been to Paris before, so
Okay.
I'm excited for that. And yeah, I don't know, just try to have fun. And I mean, obviously I'm gonna have fun. It's the Olympics. I mean, I don't skate for like the first week, so I can kind of just hang out and do
Okay.
whatever. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. My first Olympics. So
Right, because you were what, an alternate back in 2020 for the Tokyo Olympics.
yeah, so I missed it by one spot because it's
Right.
top three from each country, and I was fourth. So I was an alternate kind of on standby because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone
Mm-hmm.
got sick or hurt, they would have flown me out, but thankfully no one did.
Nobody
And
did.
honestly, I'm kind of happy that I actually just made it this time, you know? It's
Sure.
much better than being an alternate.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that call. You know you're in, and that's why we're leaving tomorrow. I think that's
Yeah.
fantastic. For those that don't know, Minna, let's talk about your start of skateboarding, because you've been doing this since a very young age, sometimes even earlier than some kids start school, which is really remarkable. What drew you to the sport of skateboarding?
I mean, I started because my brother, he got into it and I kind of just wanted to copy him and do whatever he was doing. But I think, I don't know, it's such just like a different thing that I feel like it's hard to explain to non-skaters because it's just like, I don't know, skating is just so fun. And I know I've been able to travel the world and meet new people and just, I feel like skating just brings like a random group of people together just because we're all doing one thing, which is skateboarding. And it's cool because you can just meet all different types of people. And yeah, I think that's what I enjoy most about it. And also it's really fun and you get to learn things and you try not to get hurt. So
Yes.
that
Yeah, I'm sure that's one of the biggest challenges for it, right?
yeah, for sure.
And when it comes to Team USA and what you'll be representing, there's two different teams, right? There's the park and then there's the street when it comes to skateboarding.
Yeah.
Explain that just a little bit for someone like me who's not very much into the sport, and what is the difference between park and street?
So park is what I do, which is like kind of like a bowl. But it's kind of like a funky bowl. Like there's a bunch of random things in there. Maybe it's a rail, maybe some just extensions and other just interesting things that you probably wouldn't see anywhere. And then street is just like stairs and handrails and ledges and mellower transition and just more drops and rails and grinds and stuff. So I prefer skate. I mean, I like skating street for fun, but I prefer
Sure.
skating park just because it's for me it's more forgiving because I don't have to jump down stairs and take some impact that I don't like to impact stuff. So but yeah, that's basically the difference, I guess.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And like I said, you've been doing this since a young age. At age 8, you were already winning major amateur competitions. By 10, you were hitting the podium for exposure skate and World Cup contests. You competed in your first professional match at age 11. By 13, X Games. I mean, the list goes on and on. And then, of course, the national championships in 2021 at just the age of 15. Pretty historic moment. What
Yeah.
is competing on this high level like, especially at such a young age? I mean, it must have happened kind of so fast, because you would think at these ages we're still learning, and now you're going
Yeah.
on a professional level. So was that the plan? How did that all come about?
I honestly don't know. I just started doing contests with because my brother did a bunch of castle contests, which is California Amateur League, and apparently one time my parents didn't bring my board, and I was really young, and I had like a full tantrum because they didn't bring my board. So and it was like pretty far away too, maybe like 4 hours or something. So they're like, okay, we'll bring her board from now on. And then I started doing a bunch of contests with my brother and stuff, mostly going against dudes and everything. And then down in Southern California, there's exposure, which is like all women and whatever,
Mhm.
just like it's just not all dudes. It's like so that's cool to have some inclusion there. And then like the girls combi, and then it started turning into X Games was an option. It was like, oh my god, I can maybe go to the X Games. So I did a bunch of qualifiers and I don't know, just I feel like everything just happened naturally. I don't know how to explain how it
Sure.
happened. It just kind of happened.
Do you think a little bit of I don't know how to call it. I don't want to call it naivety because I know what you knew what you were getting yourself into, but at the same time, you're still at that young age and kind of just experimenting with it. And like you said, you kind of get on a roll, and why not enter the next one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's what like skaters are this like I don't know, especially people are like, oh, I like see interviews and be like, oh, I love how she doesn't take herself so seriously. I'm just like, well, like, I'm just skating. Like, obviously, I'm doing it at a super high level, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's just skating, and
Mhm.
that's what I just like to do. And contests are just a good way to express the sport to people who don't understand it, and also, it's a way of making some money as well, and just
Sure. Yeah.
and just I feel like if you do like I never care. I mean, I care about how I do in a contest, but as long as I land a run that I want to land, I'll be stoked no matter what, no matter if I get a good score or not. Like, if I get a bad score, I mean, kind of sucks, but it is what
Right.
it is.
Right.
You can't control that. You can just only do what you can do and just hope for the best.
Yeah, and as long as you're having fun, it's not really work, right? I mean, even though you're
Yeah,
getting paid and you can do that, I mean, I think that's the dream. If you can live life and get paid for doing what you love, there's no complaining there.
exactly. And I'm literally just with like my friends, so it's just like kind
Yeah,
of the perfect thing.
I think that's very cool. Very cool. So let's talk about the mindset a little bit when you go into these prestigious events. Obviously, the Olympics being at the top of the list at this point, but you've done so many national championships and beyond. Where how do you get into it without feeling the pressure, or do you feel the pressure? What's the vibe there? What's the mindset for you to kind of clear your mind and just skate?
Um, I mean, I kind of just I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. I've been doing it for so long. I kind of just try not to put too much pressure on myself. Sometimes I do, and
Yeah.
I'll like if I have my coach or something, he'll just be like, "Dude, like it's fine, like chill, like it's okay." Like I'll be like, "Why don't I have a line?" And blah blah blah. Blah. He's like, "You do have a line. You haven't done it yet, but you have it." Like, since like in the qualifiers, we only get like 45 minutes. I really didn't have time to like. No one really had time to do a full line and be super comfortable with it. It was kind of like you just do tricks in
Yep.
places, do combos, and then in the contest, that's when you string it together. Or at least that's how I did it because it's like really hard to put a full line together in 45 minutes. So
Mm.
we get longer practice time for the Olympics. So I can actually, put a line together, which would be nice. But I don't know. I definitely put some pressure on myself, not on purpose at all. But in Budapest, I fell on my first two runs, and I only had three runs, and it was the last qualifier. So I really needed to land my last run to, help secure my spot. And I mean, it was a little stressful because I just in the last contest I fell in all three of my runs. So
Oh,
I was like,
geez.
I cannot do this again. I cannot do this again. So I forced myself to stay calm, just like paced around, stared at some buildings, and then when it was my time to go, I was like, okay, all right, I'm doing this. I'm not falling, and I landed my full run, my hardest run that I could have done, and so I was really stoked.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So yeah, bottom line, just skate, right? At the end, I can only assume that's what you want to do.
Exactly.
You mentioned Budapest. I know you've skated all over the world. Have you had any, in your experience now in the last couple of years, do you have any favorite spots that you like to skate, whether that be a certain park or perhaps just a certain city? What's the deal when it comes to traveling? Any favorites?
I had a competition in Rome. Well, actually, it was right outside of Rome in Ostia.
Hmm.
That's where I got third at the World Championships, which I was the first ever American park skater to ever make the podium. So that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. So that was like kind of like a whoa, like I didn't realize that. Like I just got third, and I mean that was definitely a really fun contest. But also I just kind of liked that area. I mean it wasn't like it was kind of the sketchy area just because it wasn't like in the best area. But I mean I actually really enjoyed it, and it was a good time because it was just super mellow and wasn't really touristy, and just like kind of like all the skaters just in that area. So it was really fun, and I definitely would go back.
So you didn't know at the time that you were going to be the first American, at least up for that type of opportunity at the time. You found out after the fact?
Yeah, I didn't realize that until so I did my run, and there's still more people to go. So I wasn't
Sure.
guaranteed top three. I think I was in second, and I got bumped down to third. And then there's only one other girl who could knock me out, and she didn't land a run. And so I was like, oh my God, no way.
Wow.
And then I think it was my coach. He's like, I got America back in the podium. I'm like, back in the podium. Like, oh, he kept saying that, but I mean, there no other American girls have
Has
ever
ever been there, yeah.
never been there. So it's like crazy. Out of all those qualifiers, no American. I'm the only American park skater to girl park skater to ever make the podium, which is
Wow.
crazy to think about. Like,
Right.
and so I think it was my dad that actually told me that. He's like the one that knew that because he, you know, he's watching everything, so he knows.
Right.
He literally like probably could tell you what score I got in like some contest like 10 years ago, and I'm like, I don't even know. I don't know what I did. So he just knows everything. So yeah.
Well, that's very cool. Congratulations on all the success you've had. Of course, we're wishing the best of luck for the Summer Olympics coming up, and it starts just next week, which is just so crazy. It's going to be
Yeah.
awesome. We can't wait to watch. Are you looking at the Summer Olympics as anything different? Have you prepared differently? Are you changing anything about your routine, or are you just going to skate?
I mean, obviously I've been getting more comfortable on some tricks and things like that, but at the end of the day, honestly, really we didn't really have that much time in between the contests. Like between Budapest and the Olympics is really only like 2.5 weeks, so it's really
Mhm.
not that much time to, get something crazy going. But I definitely got some stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I feel ready. I feel ready.
Good, good. Oh, you seem ready, seem confident. I think that's fantastic. And again, we're wishing you the best of luck here when you go over there. Outside of skateboarding, we only have a couple questions left. Outside of skateboarding, what do you do to kind of pass the time? I know you probably skateboard. I mean, I don't know. How many hours a day do you skateboard? What's your routine like when it comes to that?
Well, when I'm in Southern California, I skate like at least 3 hours a day.
Mhm.
Honestly, maybe like a session, a morning session somewhere else. Depends on the day. I don't really have like a certain schedule, but when I'm in Petaluma, which is where I live in Northern California, I kind of just cruise around and hang out with friends and stuff like that. There's not that much to skate around here except my
Right.
backyard. So if I really am gonna go like, skate and like practice for the Olympics, which I was there a few days ago, I had to come back, but I go there and just train there, and yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, again, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for doing this interview. I know you're busy. You got some packing to do and some things to get ready for. One final question. We're looking towards the future. Of course, the Olympics is the best thing right now in our faces, right? But what message or advice, maybe some young aspiring skateboarder is listening right now, what advice would you give them? I know you're young yourself, but you have so much experience. So what would you say to any young skaters listening?
Oh, okay. I would just say like, just it's so cliche, but just like be yourself. Like don't like skating is so, I mean, even if it's not skating, like just do what you want to do, make it your own. And I think that's what makes people special with what they do is because they make it their own and they don't care about what other people think. So honestly, I think it's just don't care about what other people think and just do what you want to do.
Right. And I think you touched on it earlier too, of enjoying it. As long as you're enjoying it, keep going.
Exactly. Yeah, just enjoy it. I mean, if you're not enjoying it, why are you doing it?
Yes,
You have to enjoy it.
exactly. Minna Stess, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate you connecting with us and talking. We wish you the best of luck again in Paris for the Olympics, and hopefully you can bring home some medals, okay?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
It's 9.